Aloha and welcome everybody to our very first Digital Alchemy. This is the space that is taking over from the previous Inspiral Out Loud podcasts. So we've got lots of fantastic guests and podcasts and workshops and courses coming up for you, including our very first live stream. So I'm very happy to be able to introduce to you Catherine and Jesse from from Full Circle Phenomenal. These guys have been traveling the world, sharing their love of circus and flow arts and health and all things wonderful. So I'm going to bring them up right now. Welcome, Catherine and Jesse. How are you guys going?
We're doing great.
Hey, thank you so much for having us, Tjoni. We're doing awesome.
Absolute pleasure. So we've got a special event coming up this Sunday, sorry. But before we go there, perhaps would you like to share with our audience, what have you guys been up to in the last few years?
For the last few years, this is quite the story. So 5 years ago, we left the United States on a drive around the whole world journey.
Yeah, January of 2020, we embarked in our small 1983 Toyota pop-up tilt-top camper. We've named the Yoda home from Oregon in the United States, and we headed south. And we made it all the way to southern Mexico, to the Guatemala border, where we were blocked with our first big challenge, which was the pandemic. But we didn't give up. We didn't give in. We just arts, training our very first team, teaching as well as performing, and being yoga teachers. And then content creation also came as well. And now here we are 5 years later, our 26th country, Egypt.
Halfway around the world.
Halfway around the world, and never having returned home from the US. This has been a non-stop journey.
Beautiful, amazing. And you've been hanging out here for the last week, and I'm so grateful. And we have a very special event coming up on this Sunday. So this is combining our various loves of health and creativity and all of this kind of cool stuff. So we have the Joy Convergence coming up. This is on Sunday, the 4th of May. We'll be starting at 10 o'clock in the morning, Cairo time. And so we'll all be sharing a few workshops. So first of all, Jesse, would you like to share what you'll be bringing to our space?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been dedicating my entire life to the practices of yoga, qigong, and other forms of inward focus practice. Now, it's come to the point where I've actually named it something all on its own, which I call True Yoga and Conscious Fitness. And through True Yoga, we're understanding what the practice of yoga is actually for. Not just to stay in shape and get lean and flexible, but to understand what yoga is about, what the word yoga means, which is union. And that's a translation from ancient Sanskrit. And union of what? Mind, body, and spirit. And spirit being what? Breath, life force, and emotion, or energy in motion. And to be able to observe and continue to connect all those three things together to understand our self-prophetic nature, our ability to manifest and create our lives through what it is we're observing of ourselves and the world around us, and showing ourselves how much influence we have over the creation of our realities. It's not just about creating health too, it's about being able to understand how we are here to experience what we would like to experience. So what are we investing our health for? What would you like to experience if you had infinity at your fingertips? When I realized that this was the true purpose of yoga, I saw there was no other higher purpose than to enable myself and others greater awareness of such things. So I'll be sharing with that as much as I possibly can. I could literally teach it for hours and days and weeks and months on end, but I've become very well practiced in being able to make as much of an impact as possible, giving people, or rather the ego mind, giving individual perspectives as much kind of to chew on as possible, because it's pretty unbelievable stuff.
There's also the manifestation.
Oh, that's right.
We're looking forward to that. Yes, and did you want to touch very briefly on the manifestation as well?
Yeah, so I think that we as human beings are pretty worn out as it relates to having to achieve everything with our individual separate selves. And that is one way in which we get stuff done and create our realities, right? With our own two bare hands. But there is a better way, and there's a way that is interconnected with that achievement way, and we call it manifestation. Manifestation, in essence, is shifting one's own mental and emotional frequency, which is who you are fundamentally, and it is also what our realities are fundamentally. With the belief that this is the truth, we amplify our energy. And if we can practice, because it's tough, we have tens of thousands of thoughts a day and many, many feelings that go along with it, all telling us who we are and what our reality is. So, though our realities might be pretty tough because we've got a lot of genetic memory, a lot of frequency, a lot of brainwashing, a lot of influence, telling us who we are and what our reality is. But there are particular techniques that I've been focusing on getting down at the ground level, at the foundation, that when we shift our perspectives, like a domino effect, it starts to topple into all different directions, from changing the past to shifting the future, all happening in this present moment. And so I've dedicated a lot of my time since 2012, so these last 13 years, in the study of conscious creation as it relates to manifestation and how we can achieve and experience amazing things in our life very effortlessly, as easy as it is to change your mind. So I look to
Amazing,
share that
beautiful.
with, yeah. And the more that I'm able to assist others in that process, the greater it helps me in also having an ease through manifestation. In fact, it's easier to manifest for others than it is to manifest for ourselves. And I'll tell people why here soon enough.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Thank you so much. And Catherine, you're going to be sharing some of your gorgeous creations with us too.
Thank you. Yes, I'd love to speak on that note for a moment. So I will be teaching on Sunday a holistic belly dance class. And belly dance is something that I got into a few years ago, honestly, to fuse with our fire dancing performances, kind of taking it on as a new kind of showcase, put myself out there in another way and challenge myself. But what I found through practicing this is that I deepened my connection with my understanding of my spine and isolating body movements. So, what it did is it opened up this greater awareness in my body physically, in more of like a masculine way, and it connected me to more of like my feminine essence that just wants to flow and move with the music and be free. So I've really seen a lot of shifts within myself as an individual, just evolving in really beautiful ways through the practice of belly dance. And there's so many different ways of practicing belly dance. Something that we found as we travel the world is that there are different like niches, different styles of belly dance that's seen all over the world. So even though you might say that Egypt is the heart of belly dance and it's where it came from, you see that it's actually everywhere in so many different countries and cultures and traditions. And I really just appreciate learning from the land as we travel what these kind of different communities have, as it relates to this form of dance, and how it connects us inside and out. So I'll be sharing with you guys kind of a combination of the feminine fluidity of belly dancing and how to drop into your body and just let go of the mind in a feminine way. And I'll also teach it with some structure. So teaching the shapes that the body makes and how you can take those same shapes and move them from the hips to the chest to the head to the hands and create and trace many different like shapes and patterns with different parts of your body.
Okay, beautiful. I'm looking forward to that too. So, and I will also be offering a drop of joy. I've been inspired by a wonderful book called Sacred Commerce, and they talk about a drop of joy as a way to alchemize the negative or perhaps more challenging aspects of our inner and outer worlds. So I'm going to be exploring that towards the end of our session as well. And we also have a fabulous event coming up in Cairo. So would you like to share a little bit about the Move, Flow, Elevate Flow Arts workshops?
Absolutely. So after this Egypt tour, we're in Luxor right now, and we will be driving back to Cairo in a couple of weeks.
After completing going to Aswan and Abu Simbel, perhaps over to the Red Sea and even Siwa.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
So we will go back to Cairo for this Flow Fest, or this 2 days of flow arts workshops, where Jesse will be teaching classes, I will be teaching classes, and Tjoni will come up and join us to teach classes and to share some of her DJing and elemental flow in the evening. So it's really going to be a coming together of people who are interested in learning flow arts, people who've seen fire shows and want to learn more about that, and also people who are already doing it.
Yeah.
So there is a small scene in Cairo already of people who are doing flow arts and fire shows, and that is who we're connected to putting on this event. So we have a handful of other co-facilitators who are bringing their skills in, some animal flow and handstands, some acrobatic yoga, and some poi, and what else?
A bunch of local Egyptians, juggling. And different forms of body flow, basically being able to connect with one's own grand dexterity, or we like to call it professional play. How to maintain and grow your physical, mental, and emotional health while having fun. It's something Kath and I noticed early on, and it's a great thing to dedicate themselves to. There needs to be more of it around the world, and talking about manifestation and connecting that, it really amplifies one's energy to be able to propel themselves into a wholly different reality, just through play, just through moving an object around your body.
Yeah.
Forget about
That's
fire.
it.
People don't have to do fire, but
yeah. And let's get deeper into that in our upcoming chat as well, because I found when I was teaching circus in schools, they actually moved it from the end of the year to the start of the year, because it made such a massive improvement on people's well-being, their mental clarity, their social well-being. It was just such a multi-dimensional form of nourishment for them. So I look forward to deep diving into that with you in another chat. So your Instagram is Full Circle Phenomenal. Is that the best place for people to stay in touch and to find out more about these upcoming events?
Yeah, it can be on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. We update the 3 social media platforms regularly. People can also find us via WhatsApp, and if they connect with you, we're happy for you to hand off our WhatsApp contact.
Yep, absolutely. And so my connections as well at Tjoni.j for my personal stuff. At Luxor Life Egypt is for this and other events happening in beautiful Luxor, and at Malkata Arts Retreat for any stuff that's happening right here. Like beautiful. You guys being here for a fabulous arts residency. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'm looking forward to you guys are performing tonight down at Shwaya, and I'm bringing out my DJ hat for the first time, so that's going to be super fun. So we've got a fun little event happening there. There's just so many things happening in Luxor right now. It's all really scaling upwards in the forms of community and wellness and creativity. So thank you so much for your time.
It's been unbelievable. Thank you so much for connecting us with this community that's thriving, and we're so grateful to be a part of it and catalyze it in the ways that we can, and leave a real good impression, because our journey is called Unite the World Firsthand, and we can only do so with growing communities such as this, these conscious communities growing in fun and well-being, connecting locals with people from around the world. So thank you so much, Tjoni. You really assisted us in a huge way in being able to do that rather effortlessly.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure, and it's been a joy having you guys here, and little Prana as well.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, blessings, and I'll see you in a few hours.
Okay, sounds awesome. Thank you for having us.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.